Creativity is an act of leadership. In business, the true return on investment is not always found on a balance sheet. It lives in the culture you build, in the energy your organization carries, and in the way your clients feel when they experience your company. Those things are difficult to measure, yet they are often the greatest drivers of long-term success. As entrepreneurs, we choose a path defined by uncertainty. Risk is not something we avoid, it's something we learn to navigate. But the real objective is not simply the pursuit of money. The real work is building people, because the strength of an organization lives in the individuals who shape it, protect it, and carry its identity forward. I am Selena Eklund, the first female coach at the Elliott Group. My work is centered on helping leaders cultivate creativity, develop their teams, and build cultures that create lasting impact. This podcast is a space for entrepreneurs and leaders who believe that businesses are not built by numbers alone, but by people, courage, and willingness to create something meaningful. How did you guys meet? How did that?
At work years ago.
Yeah.
Was it
Thanks, Jesse.
2010, I think?
Yeah.
Working at Bank of America, the mortgage department.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
And both of you were, what were you guys doing?
Sales, and she was in operations.
Yeah,
And
loan
this is
processing.
Arizona?
Mhm, in Chandler.
Isn't it? I feel like it's so much easier to fall in love with somebody when they do the same thing as you, because
Yes. You understand each other.
yeah, or I just feel like, I don't know, I even look at all my past relationships, and I think every person that I've ever dated actually came from work, because I think there's like an ambition level,
Yeah.
you know, or like maybe we're on like the personal development world, so like it's easy for us to.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, I like how you said the past relationships, because you would have been in yours had you had the right foundation. I would have been in mine. She would have been in hers. I think that you got married to the right person.
Yeah.
We got married. All my past relationships weren't built on a solid foundation, and then just, fell apart. And ours wasn't at first either, but we knew that the past relationships were not built that way. So once we got that solid foundation, it's the only reason our family operates greatly.
So when you saw Lori, and this is obviously 10 years ago, how did you know, like, oh, she's hot and I'm interested in her, like, and she's smart, God, like, how, you doing me a solid right now? What did you see in her that you were like, wow, I really want to be with this person?
Completely unconventional. It was communication. Our communication is literally what fired it up. I mean, There's always going to be a level of attraction there, but it was definitely communication. We just were able to talk about anything, and there was just no judgment whatsoever, and it just worked out.
Yeah.
What do you think? Same question, I guess, but opposite.
When I saw him, I knew. I was like, some way I'm going to marry this man.
Wow.
I knew it. And it was about the timing. The timing had to be right, and I knew that too. But yeah, I knew I was going to marry him.
How old were the both of you at that time?
I was like...
You guys look like
26.
You still look like you're in your late 20s or early 30s.
Yeah.
26?
I think I was like 26, 27-ish.
Yeah, I was just
there.
scratching early 30s.
I feel like that's such a good... Well, I don't know. I have, like, Brittany. You met Brittany, right? She was the gal that was coming in that office. Yeah. So her husband was in the military, and they got pregnant when she was 21 years old.
Yeah.
And they've known each other since high school.
Wow.
So just naturally, they got married at 18 and had kids at 21. And now her girls are like, just got their driver's license. Like, and I remember them I've known them for 4 years, or in the Elliott Group for 4 years. So I've seen their babies grow up. But it's crazy because I'm almost 32, and now we're entering the season of parenthood.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah, it's just so crazy. My mom was a teen mom. She had me at 15. So, like, my mom was my best friend. But I think to each is its own. When you have kids really young, there's advantages. But also when you do wait a little bit until you're older instead of right out the gate.
I was a teen mom. I had my daughter when I was 14. So, like you're saying, the different timing. So, I was 14 with the first one. Obviously, being a mother was quite different than being a mother to our little one, where I had her at 33. Yeah. So it's a completely different stage of life. So I've experienced both of them, and it is crazy how different they are.
Did both of you guys, were you centered in faith before, when you guys had met 10 years ago, or not as much?
I had just, at the beginning of our relationship, had just accepted Jesus. I've always known about God, but I wasn't raised in church. I wasn't taught the importance of the relationship with Jesus. So it wasn't until I met him and my older daughter was already going to church and inviting me, but it wasn't until like us where we're like, we have to make God the foundation of our lives.
For me, God was always important and part of my life, but I didn't have that relationship. I didn't understand it. Like, I just thought, I knew of him. I knew that he was a part of me, but I didn't really understand the whole get baptized when you actually have Jesus in your heart and allow him to take control. He was already a part of my life, but I wasn't allowing him to make the decisions in my life. So we kind of came to a narrow path where she knew it was important, I knew it was important. We got involved in the church and started attending, but it was just attending at the beginning for many years. Yep, doing the motion.
Just doing it because everybody else is doing it.
Yeah, just showing up on Sunday, no extra, just showing up on Sunday. But yeah.
And it quickly evolved after that. I mean, just getting involved with the church, joining different groups, and then kind of really understanding this is not just about attending church. This is about building a relationship with God, and that's.
Have you guys done? Do you guys do premarital counseling as well too? Do you guys do?
Yes, we did. We did premarital counseling with our pastor before we got married, but our church does.
Do you guys run that too? Because I know you run the Celebrate Recovery, but you take care of that. That's.
Yeah, so the premarital, they're big on premarital counseling. They highly recommend it for everybody. Like, our pastor will only, marry people that are ready and understanding that they've got to go through the counseling and understand what it means to be married, understand what it means to be a husband and a wife. That way he sends you into marriage, and have a successful marriage. But no, we don't run that part. We actually, with Celebrate Recovery, we co-lead. We were just asked to be a part of the executive team, about a year ago, which is a big deal because that's as high as the highest level you can go in something that you're trying to build. So they kind of saw that we could help build that. So we were asked to be a part of that team a year ago.
That's awesome. And do you guys have a men's and women's side, or no? Is it co-ed?
No, it's so we have the large group with it's both, and then we have the small groups that you split off to men and women. Yeah.
So what does it look like? Because I'm always like, I feel like there's so many people, so I don't want to bother the person leading. Do you guys have people that ask for requests or prayer requests, or can I talk to you after, or
Yeah.
And you guys do them at nighttime? In the evening, right?
Yeah,
At 6.
evening.
Okay, so it's like you already you got to the church at 5 to prep for the service at 6,
Yeah.
and then you do it for an hour and a half, and then it's 8:30, and everybody else in the church is guys, I love you and I love Jesus, but you kind of gotta go because I got kids and I gotta go home and I gotta eat, and they're trying to stack up the chairs and slowly turning the lights off to kind of nicely get people out. So do you guys get requests, or people come up to you and?
Yeah, so we do everything kind of we try to keep everything the same at all campuses. So if you go to one, you can expect the same exact setup, the same exact teardown. Yes, we get the people that request prayer and, hey, can I talk to you for a minute?
Yeah.
And we do fit that in. But that's what, in the beginning, we have a group that's called Newcomers. And that's where she'll meet with the women, I'll meet with the men, and we get to talk to them. So we're already kind of prepping them what to experience, what to expect at Celebrate Recovery. And usually we get to talk to them beforehand about what they're there for.
Yeah.
And we'll start the prayers with them at that night. And then the group just kind of takes over. Celebrate Recovery takes over and kind of leads them from there.
The small groups.
That's so cool. And are you guys in business together too, or is that separate, or what does that look like for you guys?
So I'm full-time mortgage sales. Been doing that since 2005. And we're blessed that her main focus is being a stay-at-home mom and doing homeschooling.
Yeah.
We wanted to do it different.
Listen, that's more of a job than your job. Then.
Yes,
I'm just saying,
100%.
You're not just throwing you underneath the bus, Cory, but I'm just saying.
But it's very important to us. We would rather take some, financial drawbacks right now and raise her the way we know that she should be raised. And homeschooling's been amazing. It is tough, but she's handling it like a champ.
Cool.
But yeah, that's what.
So I would love, selfishly, one of the reasons, I love interviewing people on the podcast, but also selfishly, the reason why I created it is because I like to learn from people.
Yeah.
So what was the deciding factor when, because I can tell that you're ambitious, or the both of you guys are, but I mean, especially coming from sales and Bank of America too. What made you have the shift of I'm gonna work on the home foundation instead of also working too? Because I'm currently going through that season, and looking at things, and we are all very blessed in this room that we even have that option.
Yes.
And I had a cousin of mine that's like, you're even lucky because
Yes.
most people can't do that. So what did that look like communicating wise? How did you have that conversation of like, maybe I'll stay home instead?
I think in the beginning for me it was, and it's kind of crazy to say, but it was more fear driven. I didn't want her to be with anybody else because of my past. But as we went on, and then as she started approaching school age, seeing the world around us and what was being taught, and how we knew that we wanted her to have her life centered around Jesus, and if we sent her into the school system, that wasn't going to happen. So that's kind of what the deciding factor was. But I think she was like 3 years old when I went to that convention, and there's like a homeschool convention in Arizona. It's huge. And I went, and I was just seeing all these like amazing testimonies of the kids graduating high school at 15 years old, learning their trades at an early age, learning these skills because they had that extra time on their hands. And I was like, that's what I want for her. I want her to be able to do something different than what's taught in school and do what she loves to do. So like, she does piano and she does dance, and she's asking me about horses right now.
You're like, okay, sweetie, like the mini pony one, or like what kind of lessons? Where do we have to go for those?
But just to experience something that our older daughter didn't get to experience, or we didn't get to experience, for her to just maintain her innocence in her childhood it's worth everything.
And her creativeness is just like off the charts. That's what I would just love to see other kids in public school. They just don't get the opportunity because it's like cookie cutter. Hey,
So what do you mean by that?
So just like, she, just being creative, like, hey, I don't know, when I was a kid, it's kind of, I don't know if you call it like an 80s, 90s thing, but literally as a kid, she's just like building things and cutting things and just drawing amazing. And she just finds joy in playing and building and coloring things randomly, not just coloring books, but it's just because she has that time to be a kid, and she understands free time is for me, and we try to give her as much of that as possible.
Oh my gosh. I should whisper. Hi. Sorry, I wasn't hiding any secrets or anything. There's so much to learn. That place, I'm a big Disney fan, so when I saw her backpack, I'm like, oh shoot, girl, you want to throw it down? I'm like, oh, let's do some facts trivia. That's one thing. So you said the word creative. That's where I go to refuel my creativity.
That's awesome.
It's constantly evolving, changing. It helps you think outside the box, and it is so obviously there's pros and cons to everything. You can see the good in things, you can also see the bad in things, right? And I think maybe that's where I'm at a disadvantage, is I only see the good in things. I try to not see the bad. So I take it for face value what it is. But every time I go, they're innovative for kids. It's meant for everybody. You can learn so many different aspects, and just like physical sights. They're very good with senses. So like the smells and the touches and everything,
all
like
on purpose.
She is going to love just experiencing it and like getting memories. So I'm reading this book right now. This is so cool. I love that you guys are in this stage already, like 5 years ahead of me. There's this book that I found at Goodwill, and it's called Real Family Values, and it's faith-based, and it was written in 1995.
Wow.
And I just believe like the old stuff is the gold stuff. Did we talk about this?
We did not, but I mean, it really is.
And it is such a good book, and it just talks about like traditional classic values. And so it talks about having moms staying at home and taking care of the household.
Pre-technology.
Yes, and so I just am for you guys, and just love that,
She made a comment to me the other day about, I think I was cooking breakfast, and she's like, Mom, sit down and relax. And I'm like, but this is what I love to do. I love that I get to make breakfast. Like, every morning we all have breakfast.
Yeah.
Everybody has lunch because he works from home. So I'm able to provide these meals for them.
We eat dinner together. We value the original plan. Breakfast together, dinner together. We're all busy, we're all trying to do something, but we make it at a time that works. A time before I get started for work, a time before they're going to some type of homeschool group. It's not just her and our daughter being at home all day. They have a group of people that they meet twice a week, maybe sometimes 3 times a week, and they do homeschool together. And so we just make sure we get all that done together in the morning and the afternoon, and just keep it as a consistent group together.
What's some good parenting advice? Give me something good. I know there is no one answer. There's thousands.
For me, just the biggest one for me is just being a really positive role model for your child. When I say that, I gave up casual alcohol drinking a year and a half ago. This October, it will be 2 years. I just knew that there was a time, not that I had an issue with alcohol, I was just like, how can I be a great father and have her memories of us at the pool or the beach with dad having a beer in his hand all the time. And I was just like, this has to go. So I want her to remember me as a sober-minded father that can take care of her and lead her, and all she'll remember is my dad was amazing, strong, and great dad. And I think that's kind of what she is doing too.
Parenting advice, patience, of course, like that's the biggest thing, but just loving on them. Being that we are in Celebrate Recovery, we see the effects of coming from a home that's not loving.
Dysfunctional.
And
yeah,
the dysfunction that I grew up in too. So learning how to be like a loving and affectionate mom, that's huge. And she's so affectionate and so sweet. She's always hugging and kissing. I love you, mommy. I love you, daddy. And that's just being patient and loving on them.
Like the number one thing that we hear from other people is the amount of affection and love that was missing in their household. And literally that's
Why is that?
just multiple things. It could be, it's just, again, not being raised by your previous family the right way. Doesn't mean that you have to blame everything on your parents, but once you leave the house, you have to understand, like, how do I move forward as an adult? Some people don't. They just get in their rut and they're just like their mom, they're just like their dad, and affection and love wasn't in the house. And now we have adults that we're talking to, all ages, 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s. We have them all the way up into the 70s that come to Celebrate Recovery that are just still broken and trying to heal from their childhood. And that's why we're like, we're going to make sure she grows up in a loving household.
Yeah, man, that's crazy. My mother's side of the family is all Japanese. So they're very traditional. It's different now, but they didn't tell my mom that they loved her until she was 25. Because you just don't show affection in the household. You don't talk about sex, protected sex. None of that is allowed. Even photos. Everybody had a straight, serious face. But now I feel like it's different when you have grandkids, right?
Yeah.
Now that they have 15 grandbabies, they say I love you all the time. They're like involved, like, you know, they want to be everywhere. But, my mom made sure for me to say I love you a lot. But yeah, I think we all just learn from the upline of our family genes of like what we want, what we don't want.
Yeah.
It's
And then you guys get it from other people too.
It's funny that you said that straight face, and I can just see what you're saying though. That straight face photo is families holding back a ton of secrets and a lot of pain. In the early days, you didn't talk about your problems. You didn't talk about your pains. It's not something that the neighbors heard of. Your school didn't understand it, and everyone carried that on into the rest of their life. So that's a lot of else of what we deal with is people's secrets and problems that they never ironed out, and they're wondering, well, I don't know why I have anxiety, but I'm going to see a doctor to get medication. I don't know why I abuse alcohol and drugs, but I'm going, I'm trying to figure this out. And then once we get them and sit them down and talk to them through their problems, we get back as far as we can, and we find out at 5 and 6 years old there was abuse, there was sexual abuse, there was alcoholism, whatever it might have been, and here is where it all stemmed from. So that straight face tells stories.
Yeah, it's crazy. Times have totally changed. And I think too, I feel like because my mom married an American, so it's more westernized culture is different too as well. And things have changed, but that's just saying it's crazy. I appreciate parents that are taking time to develop their kids, because I think all kids just want is your time. Like, they actually don't need to go to Disneyland. They don't need all the extra stuff. They just want, like, it wouldn't matter if it was here or there. They just want time with you. All the extra stuff is just a bonus, but they want the present. And I think that's really special to have that, especially today, is like being where your feet are at. And I feel like as an adult, as a kid, it feels like time is just slowed down. It like takes forever. You're in like this time warp machine. But then when you get older, it goes so much faster. And then everybody that has kids is like, oh, you think it's fast now? Wait till you have kids. It even goes quicker then. You know,
it's wild.
One moment from leaving the hospital to now crayons and coloring books and like, you know.
It does go quick. I mean, I think it's just because there's so many things that you're doing. You're taking baby photos, and now they're at a certain age, you're like getting them into dance or whatever the case is. There's like blocks of time that eat up before it's been a decade. Like, you know, our daughter will be 7, and we can literally remember. Well,
she's gonna be 8.
I'm sorry, 8. She's 7 now. But it just went quick. I literally remember bringing her back from the hospital, and I'm like, that felt like it was just like 2 years ago.
Yeah. That's so crazy. Now, and your oldest daughter, she's 25,
26 next week.
And she's getting married too. I'm excited for her. She's in you guys are gonna do great, and she has you guys for guidance and support. And you know, again, a benefit of my mom having me at 15 is my younger brothers have me for stability. You know, they have us that have a really good foundation. We're having kids before they have kids. You know, my oldest brother is 18, 15, and 13. So like when they get married or when they have kids, they also have us to piggyback off of or know for help. So I wanted to ask, because I feel like a lot of times we talk about like positivity and all the good things, but I always like to ask, like, what are some of your current challenges maybe you guys are facing or like you're getting through? Because as perfect as we want to seem on social media, let's just be real. Like, we're all going through things in life and we're all searching for that next thing. So like one of my challenges is becoming a mom and getting pregnant. And I didn't realize, did you know that there's a whole calculation to getting pregnant?
Oh, yes, we do.
Yes.
We very much.
That is a wild.
Yes.
I just thought, at least in high school, they just taught you, like, you don't ever do it, because if you just do it once, you're just going to get pregnant. It's just going to happen.
And I think that.
And I'm like, I didn't know that there's an ovulation week. There's like a day. There's the timing. And then we did more research last night, and it's like, and so actually my husband last night was saying, he's like, it's literally God. That's the only way a baby can be made.
100%.
So we watched a YouTube video, and it's like the guy on like National Geographic where he's like, the egg drops into the fallopian tube. Wow, fascinating. And it's like there's like only like 4 sperms can go, but only the attach, and then that takes 5 days to the next process, and it has to survive the next 5 days. And I'm like, and they're like, what you should and shouldn't be doing and getting rest, and I'm like, wow.
Holy.
So we're just like, and then this is the last thing I'm going to say. It says the first time trying to conceive, only 20 to 30% actually conceive in the first time trying. It usually takes up to 6 months. And I thought it was just like, okay, everybody, by July I'll be pregnant, and it's like, no, it doesn't work like that. And now I'm like, okay, God's really working his way through me. So that's my challenge of like being patient and knowing like I can't just have everything right now, and that's fine, because I missed last cycle. It's totally fine. TMI, I'm just putting that out in the world right now.
It's real.
But like, so that's kind of like my thing of like what I'm getting through. So like, what is that thing for you guys? Because I love to create space where people can know they have other individuals to lean on. You know,
well, I wanted to touch on what you were talking about right now. So we went through a 5-year infertility journey.
Oh, wow. 5 years. Really?
And when you talk about only God can do it, when we look back, I just said it to him a month ago. That was something we had to wait 5 years for her. And that was the longest waiting period of our relationship.
Really?
And when I look back, had her when we first started trying, we wouldn't have been ready. We wouldn't have been, our feet wouldn't have been grounded on Jesus. We weren't ready. So his timing was perfect. It was hard, but his timing was perfect.
It was hard, but he only knew when it was the right time, because we did have a couple miscarriages prior, and that was definitely something that was tough, but we understand why, and the waiting period was worth it, because we have some of the most amazing kids now because of it.
And she's healthy. And I mean, I was even, when we were watching the video, even when the chromosomes come together, the point of miscarriages are because
something's wrong,
and your body doesn't want to develop an unhealthy baby. So there's God again.
Wild.
Yeah, so I was just like, no, it's science. And then my husband's like, no. I love you. But that's God. He's making sure that,
That is so cool.
it's a success, right?
Yeah.
And I'm sure all of that patience, it makes me so emotional just thinking about it.
Yeah.
But I'm sure that all that patience makes you appreciate her more, to develop her more.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, it was definitely a trying time, but again, having that faith foundation, you can get through those tough times, because at the time you're like, why? What did we not do right? Did we not do this? Did we not do that? And you start like thinking about yourself and but then you slow down and make sure that God's back at the center, and you're like, okay, this makes all sense, because once she was born, it was just like, wow, her personality was just like top of the charts, her communications top of the charts. We're like, he was forming literally one of the most amazing beings that could ever live, and we get the opportunity to take care of her.
Oh man, that makes me so emotional. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That is just so cool.
Yeah.
Wow. So, okay, well, you guys have persevered and you've gotten through that. And I do think God gives you challenges throughout your whole life.
Yeah.
It's not just when you're a teenager and you don't want to listen to your parents. I mean, he's giving you tests all the time in season. So, what's this next adventure that you guys are on? And
Well, we definitely have come a long way, and we can definitely touch on that, to what got us here. But I mean, where we're at right now is, I definitely want to change the trajectory of our family financially, and it takes time to figure out what that looks like. What are we going to do that? So we've been, we got into real estate a couple of years ago, and got into a couple different things, land and multi-unit. But right now, I am in the refining process. I'm forged in fire right now. I can't say how much has gone on in the past 2 years. Just God reducing my friend circle, challenging me physically, challenging me mentally. And then here over the last 90 days, the wildest thing in the world could have ever happened. We have a tenant that was doing illegal things in one of our units. Our property management company couldn't really do anything, so they put it back on our plate. Lo and behold, we're the one that came up with all the evidence. So the last 90 days of dealing with law enforcement, finally they just got caught on camera doing what they were doing, all because we had put up the cameras. The DA got involved, and they just got arrested last week. It was a huge thing.
I don't wonder why people think that they can get away with things nowadays. There's literally cameras everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, we have 15 cameras out in the front building. I have 3 on the front of my house, and everybody in my neighborhood has one.
Yeah.
Like, people have phones 24/7 on them. Like, I don't understand why people think that they can get away.
I don't know.
These criminals didn't really mind. They saw the camera.
They waved to the camera.
They waved.
No, they did not.
This
Jesus.
Yes.
We know who we're praying for this week.
Yes, and it got to a point to where they're in our investment. They're literally affecting the people around them. We get the phone calls, we get the complaints. Not only that, it's an unsafe environment. So we did collect all the evidence. We didn't even think we'd ever get in touch with law enforcement, but we had a DEA agent say, "We'll take your case." Wow. So they started like dealing with us it was 90 days of just absolute headache and just disappointment. And like about 2 weeks ago, it was on a Thursday morning, she just runs into the bathroom when I'm getting ready, and she just like can't talk, and she can't like get her words out. She's like, look on the video, and we look on the video, and there's like probably 15, 20 tactical police officers with all their gear, their firearms, their helmets, their shields, the big truck, the SWAT truck, all pull up, and they just swarm the house, and everybody just comes out of there with their heads down and in handcuffs. It was like the wildest video we've ever seen.
Wow.
So
it's one of those things where it's like a car crash. Like, you want to look at it, but you don't want to look at it, but you want to look at it to see it. Wow. Yeah. And that was those people. That
was them. So it was just, another test of, are you ready to be in this real estate business? It's not just making money. It's not just taking care of properties. There's some muck to it as well.
It's hard to run a business. It is not easy.
I feel like it was for us. Are we ready to release control? Because we were trying to control everything, from watching the videos to trying to set out letters. And every week that would go by, he's like, I need to call the agents, see where they're at. I'm like, we had to learn to give them time to do what they were doing, because they were out on the streets trying to sell to them, like, or to buy as undercover and get all that done, and then they just have it. So.
It's like, it's almost like a traumatic too. My cousins actually just went through this not too long ago. They had their first home, the rental property, and then now they live like 5 minutes away in their house that they've been in forever. But that first rental home, I even consider it where I grew up, because I would spend my summers there. I remember, it's my godmother, but her husband, he would throw me up in the air and he would say anything for Selena, and that was before her kids were around, which is my second cousins. But we had all of our childhood memories there, and of course, just naturally, when they moved into the bigger home, because their family grew, they rented it out. And by sheer chance, she had a feeling, and she's like, I'm going to go over to check the house. Usually everything's pretty good.
Yeah.
You know, they rent it out yearly, or you can renew it. And she went over, and nobody knocked. She's been trying to get a hold of the landlord, and finally, I don't know if it was SWAT, but somebody similar opened up the door, and just drugs everywhere.
Yeah.
Damaged. There's so much damage. There's people in there that she didn't know. And it just broke her heart more than the money part. It broke her heart because we grew up there.
Yep.
Like our childhood memories. And I mean, the toxins from the drugs, everything is.
It's an invasion of your privacy, because it's your place, but it is.
Yeah. And it's like, you know, all the markings of the kid's height on the wall, all that's kind of like gone, you know? And, it was hard for her.
Yeah.
It was hard because all the cousins went there, and that was our home in the backyard. And it's like, you know, so yeah, I just kind of know. I kind of know, but I kind of don't know. You know, but I'm glad they got them.
Yeah, it was a process, because if we didn't get them out, we couldn't, you know, we're also in the middle of selling the property. So with the real estate agents coming to the property, they're like, hey, these people, you know, we're aggravated to see the buyers at the property. These are professionals coming to the property, and we have got this eyesore in one unit, and we're like, we're trying.
It's funny how business is, it's always harder than what you think it is.
Oh, yeah.
You know? Like,
100%.
There's more challenges, or that's why I say people on social media always make it seem easy, but it's like, when you're in the thick of it, well, that's why I have a really big heart for entrepreneurs, because you take the most amount of risks.
Yep.
You know, but I think that the people that take the most amount of risks have the most amount of lessons to share, and you have more or you can educate more people.
Yeah.
You know, like other people that are going through challenges, you're like, buddy, let me tell you what just happened 2 weeks ago. Like, you're not going through anything, and it's okay, and it's gonna be fine. Like.
Well, talking about lessons, that's what our relationship was built on, is lessons. I mean, we learned so many lessons early on that got us here, and I wouldn't take back any of them now that I think as much as dark as some of the lessons were, it's what built our family and got us to where we're at. I look back and I'm like, okay, I'm not ashamed of the things that we had to go through to get here. I'm actually grateful that they happened, because it made us who we are today.
Yeah. I think it's important, because you find that security in you of knowing, you know, knowing those things and just accepting it for what it is. Like, and it goes back to the control. I'm also in that too. I'm like, I'm also dang it in a control season. You know, it's hard to like give up those things, or just surrender and also give it to God. I also feel like I'm just trying to give it to God, and I'm like, you know what?
I took it back.
I'm like, if you just want to help a sister out, or just let me know, like, send me a message.
That would be grateful.
Send me a message.
Yeah, even this last year for us, it's been like a different year, and I think there's something about like the 9s, 29, 39, 49, like you're entering a new season. Like 19 is way different than 29. Like, I feel like in your 30s, you start to really know who you are. When you're 19, you're still like developing and learning about the world. And, you know, I think a big part of getting married and having kids is a realization, like, okay, kind of playtime is kind of over now. Like it's no more trial and error. Like, you actually got to figure things out now. Like,
it's game on.
Like it's a little bit more serious, and the responsibility of marrying somebody. I looked at him and I'm like, I own you and you own me. Everything you do is on me now. Our names are tied through God. Not just this marriage certificate,
That's
but like you know?
Joining of bank accounts. I know there's a lot of couples out there that have separate bank accounts, but I believe that they should be together so you can manage it together.
What's really going on. And that goes down to communicating.
Yeah.
You know, having an open level of communication. And yeah, it's crazy. I'm excited for the journey, though. I'm really curious to see what it's going to give us. And every time we hear a crying baby, we're like, oh, get ready for that. That's about to be us. I'm like, you want to change the baby? I want to change it. We're just talking about an imaginary baby that's not even here yet. You know, and I'm like, who's going to change it? We're like, luckily we have at least 9 months to figure out how all that is going to come about. That's so cool. What's new and up and coming for you guys? Obviously, like, still building and growing, but do you guys have any new things that are coming in the future, and things that are coming your guys' way? Fun stuff. Your daughter's getting married.
Yeah.
That's one.
That's huge.
Yeah, that's a big one. Wanted to focus on that too and make that day special for her. She's super excited. So that, for me as a dad, I want to make sure that, we keep that energy level there for her, and so she has a day to remember. So she's planning all of it with her. I'm just kind of there for the support. I would say the next season is just growing our Celebrate Recovery, and we're the smaller campus that runs it. And our larger campus has triple the amount of attendees, but we've now doubled our size, so we're actually going into a larger auditorium now, what they call the big stage. So it's like once you get to a certain number, the big stage is allowed. So now it's like, okay, game on. So I think we're just being handed all these different things that we've gone through over the last 2 or 3 years to get ready to take care of other people.
Yeah.
So like what I mean by that is, like, there's just certain things that I had to remove. I don't think people understand when you can have idols in your life. You can idolize certain things, and there's things that I was doing and being around where God was tugging on my heart, and he was like, I need you to remove these certain things before I can give you these people to take care of. So like, I was big in the motorcycle community. I've rode Harleys for a long time. I enjoy the motorcycle life. But with the motorcycle life brings different groups of people, different types of people, groups that you start, hanging out with. And there was a time where I was like idolizing the motorcycle life, and I had to come to a realization that God actually told me, this isn't what I have planned for you. It was just like a supernatural experience.
Really?
He pulled me out of it supernaturally, and I had 2 bikes. I sold one of them, my main one, and I kept one. And I was just like, you know what? Okay, I understand you want me to take care of the people at Celebrate Recovery, and that's what I did. That was one of the idols that I was taking care of. You could have many other ones in your life, but that was the main one for me, and I got rid of it.
Wow. What's crazy, Lori, is I feel like the people that make me most proud at baptisms, it's not kids. Because kids are like innocent and cute, and like women are cute, but I actually have the most respect. What makes me more emotional is when a grown man gets baptized. Because what that means is they're letting go of that ego, and they are giving it up.
The pride.
And that is whenever I see, I always get emotional when they show it on the TV, and I just get emotional when I see grown men. It melts me, and so that's really cool. So like, you got to experience that with him, and
because they're the leaders of the house. So when they make that move, that big shift, that's going to impact the whole entire family. So it's huge when a man surrenders, a father surrenders.
And it was wild because I call our group, the group, you meet people out on the road, you meet people at events, you share the same type of likes. So before you know it, you go from a couple people riding together to like, 20, 30 people riding together, and it just continues to grow. And that dismantled naturally. It was really sad and tough at the time. I didn't understand it, and it dismantled naturally. But there was one gentleman from day one that I was friends with, and I remember 4 or 5 years ago just saying, if I could just affect one person in this group and bring them to Jesus, I'll have done what I need to do in this group. And it's wild. He started going to Celebrate Recovery. There are some things that he took care of that he didn't understand he was holding on to from 5-10 years ago.
Wow.
He completed a step study, which is basically like a deep dive into your life. And then I get this random call after all that had happened and said, "Hey, buddy, I'm looking to get baptized this Sunday. Would you mind baptizing me?"
Oh.
And you have to get approval through the church because, generally there's people that take care of the baptisms in the church. So they were like, yeah, that we would be honored to allow you to baptize your friend. And so just baptizing him in water, and just like you said, a grown man with a beard that's hardcore.
Yeah, you're like, hey, we'll go to a toilet right now. Any place that's got water, we'll do it.
Yeah, so it was just an honor to baptize him and to see him, and now living a different life, taking care of his family differently, speaking differently. But yeah, that was
cool.
part of what I got out of that.
That's really cool. Lori, what about you? What's up and coming for you?
Of course, the wedding. So I'm trying to wrap my head around it emotionally, because it is a bittersweet situation.
Totally.
I'm excited for them. We love him. They've been waiting for a long time for this. They both have kept God at the center of it. So it's a testament in itself what patience is. So there's that. And then, so outside of homeschooling, I take care of a lot of the background stuff at our Celebrate Recovery. So I'm just really excited for what God's going to do next. I pray every day, God, use me. How do you want me to be used today? What do you want me to do? Open the doors. So just with the growth that's coming, I'm just getting ready for that. And
that's cool.
Yeah, it sounds kind of silly, but in my head, I'm already okay, I need another team lead or somebody who can help me, because what I try to do, this ministry, ordering the food, setting up rooms, getting people into the right places, I'm doing by myself right now. So I'm I think I need somebody else to help me. So that kind of shows the growth that's coming with our ministry.
Well, you got Isabella.
She does.
Helping out with the snacks.
Oh, she does.
She does.
Yeah, she
does
comes
help me.
through.
I'll go on random day during the week to go do things at the church, and she is right by my side, helping me out, and
that's
so
sweet.
she does it.
As we begin to wrap up here, any piece of advice, or what's the best piece of advice that you'd like to share with anybody listening to this? And we have all different walks of life. Somebody told me the other day, which I should Anna, I did a podcast with her, I should take her advice. She's like, you need to target 4 different types of categories for entrepreneurs to listen to it, so you can niche it down. I still haven't niched it down. Moms, I get so many people that reach out to me. I have moms that are stay-at-home moms that are trying to find their identity again, and get involved with the church, or you know, like that. Or I have people that are leaving the corporate world that want to get into sales, or people that are stuck in the corporate world but they want to be a better leader. So I'm like, okay, just any advice that you'd like to give, or anything specific that you'd like to share with anybody.
I guess I'll go first. The one that I had in mind before you even asked, it's kind of funny, is just breaking generational curses. They're real. I don't think that you can be great in business or great in a family until you understand what's going on in your household, or what your family has been introduced to prior to you even meeting your wife or your kids. You've got to notice what those things are and break those chains. And a lot of people don't understand, a successful business owner might relax in the evening with a cup of bourbon, or you might smoke a cigarette, or you go out on the balcony and have a vape or something like that. Kind of have to pull back and understand what has a hold of you, and are you ready to release that so you can take it to the next level. I truly think that you can be successful, but I don't think your business or you as a man will actually be great unless you're willing to release the things that have a hold of you.
That's powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think even just the 1 vaping or 2 vaping here and there, it compounds.
100%.
Yeah. I think for me, the biggest thing, because you said identity. For a long time, that's where I was at. I've always been extremely quiet, really reserved. But the last, it's almost 6 years. When I fully surrendered to Jesus, just letting him become my identity versus all the things that are around me, or the things that my past look like. Just knowing that he is going to use us the way he wants to, and we don't have to be perfect. And then the moms, stay-at-home moms, motherhood is a ministry. It truly is. And you get to be the one that pours into your child. You get to be the one that impacts their daily life and who they're going to be as an adult. So it's a very important role.
That's cool. I love that. You guys are such great parents. You're great people, not just great parents. I have something for you guys that I wanted to give to you.
Oh, exciting.
And I didn't know that Isabella was going to be with you today, so I have something else for her, but this is for you guys. This is for you guys.
Wow,
Oh my
look at that. That is amazing. Oh my, look at that.
We'll get Isabella one done
That
so
is
she can
just
match with you guys.
breathtaking. I can't even, I've never even received something that personal in a very long time.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
You guys got your own. I think everybody is. We're all walking billboards, right? For the Holy Spirit, for God, and something that's really changed my life is like this is like the form of like the Elliot shirts, right? And literally people see them with us on, and they see the soldiers that we are, or like the disciples that we are. And so I just think you guys are another form of disciples. So when people see that and you wear that, I can almost guarantee you within 24 hours somebody will come up to you because they're like, hey, I like that.
Yeah.
We'll be wearing that to celebrate recovery tonight, both of us.
As you should.
Yes.
You guys are really changing people's lives. And I think sometimes when we're just so busy in life, we're so focused on like, gotta do this thing, we forget the specialness that God has given us in that path. So I just want to remind you guys, like, you guys are really truly like gifts to the world, and like,
thank you.
Don't forget about that. Thank you. You guys are doing big things. Isabella, here you go. I have this for you, ma'am.
Wow.
You got your own little. You can come over here if you like. This is for you, and it's a lion, and it's a little pin, so you can wear it on your shirt.
Oh, and you know what? What's one of your favorite animals? It's a lion.
It's okay. Did you just say it because your dad's here?
No.
Or is it really?
She likes lions.
Yeah, I like all
Okay.
animals.
Yeah, that's good too. That's a good sign. We favor all of them,
Yeah.
right?
Mom loves lions too.
Yeah.
This is awesome. I mean, I can't express the
You wanna
gratitude
sit-
we
sit
have
with
for
your
this.
mom?
Super
Welcome.
cool. I won't be wearing this to the gym because I'll be afraid of getting it sweaty. Because that's sick.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to thank you guys for taking time out of your schedule, because I know it takes time to drive out here and then do the podcast and drive back. So I just, wanted to say thank you so much for being here and sharing your story, and never be afraid to keep sharing it, because you never know somebody on the other side. Even though actually Jim downstairs, right before I saw you guys, that's what he told me. He said, you just posted a video 2 days ago, and he's like, I'm telling you, he's like, even though people may not follow you or like hit the follow button, there are people that are watching it that
They're
need it.
watching.
Yeah.
So for you guys, like, people are looking up to you guys as parents for watching her, and you just keep like bringing more people, to God's house, because it's cool what you guys are doing. Well, until next time when we shatter limiting beliefs, thank you guys for being on the show.
Thank you.